What's good? We're about to tap into another Larry Bird video. What legends, NBA legends gotta say. NBA legends can't stop talking about the prime Larry Bird. Let's tap in.
Enjoy yourself, dog. You kids. Y'all give us a round five money. Yeah. I'll see you. All right, take care.
I fear no one but Larry Bird, because if you keep it close and he has a chance to win it.
People always ask me who.
Yeah, that was Magic rival in the finals. There was rivals, you know what I mean? They was competing against each other. There was all these battles in the finals and all that. Yeah, I mean, of course, you know what I mean? But yeah, like that's tough. I mean, your rival Magic. I mean, but I know they became good friends and stuff like that. Later down the line. But yeah,
Was the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird, and I say this for the reason because with Larry, okay, say if you're guarding Michael, when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he stood off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous.
He didn't impress me no more than any white guy I've ever seen play before. I think that you would say that most black players at the time were racist, in the sense that we did not think that you could find a white guy.
but the game of basketball is really all dominated by black people. If you really think about it, like the whole league is basically based off of like domination. You know what I mean? You had to come into the league at that time. You had to show it. You had to prove it. You know what I mean? And he Bird did prove it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. So it is what it is. Bird, he really is the truth though. Like, cause I mean, he's like a stretch 6'10" forward that it was like never seen even back then. You know what I mean? Like he's like the originator. Like, you know what I mean? If you really think about it.
Who could play better than any black guy. I'm thinking, oh, he's slow, he can't get off a shot, he's not that strong. It's gonna be a layup. Bam, knocks down a jump shot. Okay, maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam, knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm finna D this guy up. I'm gonna show him what it's like. 20 feet away. Bam, 25 feet away, bam. My mind just goes so good. Damn, this white guy can play.
And I know a lot of you young folks may not really.
I mean, but Bird got that jumper though, boy. He got that J for real. He got that J for real, and he showing it. I mean, but that was his teammate Maxwell. You know what I mean? Like he was. I mean, at least he showed props. Like, you know what I mean? At least he gave the man props. He's like, that white boy could play. I respect that though. Like, you know what I mean? At least he kept it a real, kept it a buck. He wasn't no hater. You know what I mean? Early on he was, but later down the line he was like, nah, can't be no hater, man. He my teammate. He really cold for.
They remember Larry Bird that well, but that man was a magician, and yeah, no, he was amazing. And he was 6'9", and he had the skill set of a guard. He wasn't that fast. He wasn't that great of an athlete, but he had the heart of a lion. And so playing against him was kind of my real first taste of, man, I want to do that, right? I want to compete against that every day. That's the kind of thing that's going to make you a monster. And there were a lot of great players. I mean, make no mistake, I faced a lot of great players every day. But I think when I came into the league, Larry Bird was at his peak. And he was incredible at what he did. And he was humble. And he came to work every single day. And I admired that. And so I think he was my favorite to play against, particularly early in my career.
I think it was 86, 87. So we were playing Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. So they gave me the task of guarding Larry Bird. So guarding Larry Bird, I'm like this 25-year-old rookie in the league. They said, Dennis, you have to guard him. And I'm like, man, guard him. So that was my whole job.
Hey, man, I need a tool set for $200.
Really? Have you used up all the toolkits in this car?
What? Isn't it?
And you know what I'm saying? Guard him. So that was my whole job, to guard the toughest guy on our team, on the other teams. So, so I'm guarding him. And every time I turn my head, he's over there in the 3-point line. He said, I'm over here, Rook. I'm like, I got to go out there and run out there like a dumbass. Let's go out there, try to contest him. He'll hit the three. I'm like, okay, da-da-da.
Game 5 in the old Boston Garden.
Yeah. Larry goes down with an injury late in the second quarter. Larry goes down, goes to the locker room. Start to third, no Larry. Couple minutes go by, no Larry. We're looking at one another like,
We're going to beat the Celtics in the Garden. No one ever beat the Celtics in the Garden. 46. I remember it to this day of the third quarter. It felt like a train in the middle of old Boston. That's how loud it was. The crowd was so loud. And I remember looking at Chuck, and we said to ourselves, you're in trouble.
Bird had something to say about that when he came back. You know what I mean? When they was doing all that taunting and they thinking they was doing something, but Bird came back and he gave them that ass whooping.
In those 6 minutes, Celtics go on a 33-14 run, and they beat us in Game 5. Look, I know you're supposed to be competitors, but I'm going against the guy who I patterned my game after, and you put on an unbelievable performance.
I remember sitting on the bench watching Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. And Larry Bird did something. To me, I'm still marveled at this. And he got so many people. It was a timeout. And one of our teammates, Boy Kofold, had a camera. Right. He's taking pictures. So Larry Bird came over there and looked at our bench. And he said, 3-pointer. From right over here. So I'm sitting over there looking like that Babe Ruth. Calling your shot already, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting there looking. He looked down at the floor. Hell, everybody looked down at the floor. He like he threw something. He hit a 3.
Oh! Can you believe that?
And I remember Kevin kind of looking over at the bench like this gonna be a long night.
And Larry Bird was shooting anywhere. If you think about how many times he won a championship and what he was doing and what he was averaging, people don't understand that he was like, oh, he was slow. He wasn't he was just smart. You know what I'm saying? He was smart and he can get.
He had that IQ, you know what I mean? He had a jumper, but he had an all-around game, you know what I mean? That's what people don't talk about Bird, you know what I mean? They don't talk about his all-around game, his IQ, you know what I mean? And, he's slow and this and that. Man, it don't matter. I mean, you know what I mean? He was perfective. He won championships playing the way he played. You know what I mean? He was a winning player. He had IQ. He could pass the ball. He could rebound. He could even play defense. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Some of these highlights I be seeing, like, you know what I mean? Like Bird was like that first stretch forward. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like the originator for real. You know what I mean? But people don't talk about that. It just overlook him like he didn't do nothing. Like, he did something. You know what I mean? If you really go back and do your history about basketball, you're going to see this man was like originator before anything. You know what I mean?
He can get it done. He wasn't MVP all them times and all the All-Stars all them times for nothing.
I'm going to take you over to this corner. I'm going to dribble 2 times. I'm going to hit your ass in the face. And it bet not touch the rim. Wow. And then he said, if it do, I'm going to come right back and do it again until it touches. That's how Larry Bird used to get at. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, Larry Bird was the coldest talker ever, man. And he bagged it up because he was so cold. You know what I'm saying? So people ask people about him. Motherfuckers to tell you, boy, you can't do shit with me. I'm too motherfucking good for this. Wow. I'm going to give you a Christmas present. This jumper in your face. He used to always say this.
The one.
Damn, Bird had the cold lines, and he had the game that back it up. I mean, that's nothing but respect. His peers respected him because, you know what I mean, he lived up to it. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the ultimate respect for Bird. You know what I mean? Like Bird really was like that guy for real. You know what I mean? Like, on some real ish.
I really hated to guard was Larry Bird. He was not a nice guy. Matter of fact, there was one game in Cleveland where he was having a pretty rough first half. And in the old days in Cleveland, you walked off the court the same way at halftime. And I kind of puffed up on him and walked beside him and was like, yeah, you're 1 for 10. I was like, that's defense, you know, and he just kind of looked at me and said, there's 2 halves. And he came back out and hit about 10 in a row on me. And the last one was left-handed. And he asked me if my mother was watching because he wanted to embarrass me. So
The resume.
He said, "Yo, mom watching because I want to whoop your ass." Damn. But but that's how you know Bird was a real savage. Like, he had the game that backed it up. Come on now.
Is long,
Yeah.
but he's really known for 2 things mostly: shooting and talking trash on the court.
Yeah.
Which one bothered you the most?
His shooting. I mean, his shot was just so like perfect, you know, and not only was it perfect, you know, my mother-in-law nicknamed his jump shot Silent Death because when he shot it, the ball just like rolled in the air, and it was almost like it was playing the song the way it was like just moving in the air, and then it would just swish through. I mean, his shot was just so, and he was just, you know, as a competitor, I mean, he was a killer. I mean, just a straight killer.
How incredible Bird and the Celtics were in their prime. I said, they were almost impossible to go in there and beat. And they said, why? I said, because you could not make a mistake with them. If you turn your head or you don't rotate right on time or whatever it was, those guys made you play. And it was him. Like, he was a savant on the court.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, even Joe Dumars is paying homage. You know what I mean? He knew what was up with Bird in Boston. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, man. Like, this is my opinion, but I'm telling you, like, if Bird doesn't get hurt and the situation with Len Bias and all that, you know what I mean, and Reggie Lewis, and because you still had Kevin McHale. I think ain't Parrish was still on the team too. Like, correct me in the comments, like, you know what I mean. But I feel like, you know what I mean, like, they would have gave Jordan a run for his money in the '90s. You know what I mean, because when Bird got hurt and they were saying Len Bias was gonna be like the next LeBron before LeBron, like. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the landscape of the league would have changed. You know what I mean? Like, I believe probably Bird probably would have, you know what I mean, messed around and had probably like 7, 8 chips. You know what I mean? Like, if that situation didn't happen, like, the landscape of the league would have changed probably. You know what I mean? This is what if, but that's what I believe. You know what I mean?
Like, just a savant, like 2 plays ahead on everything. And so I was just talking about this maybe 3 or 4 days ago, how hard it was to go into Boston and beat a team when Bird is in his prime.
There's nobody that I ever played against that I love and respected more than Larry Bird. The man, listen, you couldn't give him an inch or he would just shoot it right in your face. He was dominant at both ends of the court. And so Larry Bird made me a better player, and I think I made him a better player. And together, we made the NBA better.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact. You know what I mean? They made the NBA better. They really made the NBA for what it is today. You know what I mean? But they don't pay homage towards that. You know what I mean? They don't even know the history about the game. You look at goofy ass Anthony Edwards. He's a prime example. You know what I mean? And I don't believe he could have played in that era because he would have been a soft ass cupcake playing in Magic Larry Bird era. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. And I'm out.